Today we're going to be taking a look at the much hyped NYXI Wizard. A lot of people hit me up about this thing. I was seeing a lot of posts out there and promotions for this thing. And now I finally have one in my hands, and we're going to take a look at it. See if it's worth the dollars here, because for me, just straight up, when it comes to Nintendo Switch controllers, there's not very many companies I trust. Really, I mean, 8-bit though, maybe, and not too many others. So we're going to take a look at it. The Wizard, wireless controller for the Switch that obviously looks like a GameCube controller. And I know there's been some people like, oh, they stole this idea. It's a GameCube controller. This is not the, to me, like just copying a controller that Nintendo already made and adapting it to the Switch isn't revolutionary, but they do have some interesting things going on here, I guess. They say comfortable feel. We'll be the judge of that. Oh, featuring an A, B, and XY button. Like, I mean, is that a feature? You should have an A, B, and XY button for the Switch. Oh, but it features a white light effect. Okay, instant triggers. Lighter, less resistant, have shorter trigger distances. Then you also have Hall effect joysticks here, and that's a good thing. Everybody, Hall effect. Even you, 8-bit though, Hall effect on everything going forward. I don't accept any less anymore. Interchangeable joystick rings. So like a different gate, I guess. And then 2 buttons on the back. Accessory pack and then the actual controller. So this is supposed to be where you can use it as just a standard, I guess, like a Pro controller. And then you could split it and use it as Joy-Cons. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Oh, I do. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Okay, I mean, those are like bam, 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 bam. Instant. I guess some people may see some use in that. Okay. Oh, I don't know about this D-pad. That feels weird. That's like everything. It feels like everything, well, other than these maybe, like the membranes here feel fairly standard. Like, hey, you got to actually press it. This stuff, it just, I'm like, honestly, on the D-pad, I'm putting no pressure on it, and I'm just moving my thumb slightly, and I could feel it click, like for the directions. I feel it making contact. Oh, that is a very sensitive. That could be a good or a bad thing, I suppose. But yeah, the D-pad is like this. Like these LNRs, and where you just barely, like I could see accidentally triggering that. That's crazy. Okay. And then your little back buttons. These take a bit more pressure to register, it seems. So they give you 2 more. Oh, so you had the like octagon there, and then you got smooth, if you like it smooth. How the fuck do you... I cannot get that off. Fucking... So I don't know. Is it like you have to pull the stick up and then like use that to be able to get it off? That does not feel good, man. That was a little bit of a struggle there. Not gonna lie. There's your Hall effect stick. That's interesting. Okay, I don't know. Like I feel like I might break the analog stick trying to do that. Like that's the only way I could see. It's popping the stick and then kind of gripping it and turning it. Ready to go. Yeah, this plastic feels a little cheap to me. There's the top view. Little hollow feeling. It's supposed to have gyroscope and whatnot. Okay, here we go. I had to charge these up. They're Joy-Cons, so I charged both sides separately. Unless you put them on the Switch itself, charge it on the dock, you got to plug them in. You know, it is what it is. But I've been using this a little bit, and I've got some things to say here. Analog sticks feel fine. Them Hall effect sticks. I am a little worried with, you know, if you want to remove the gates, just with the way that felt and seemed a little bit of a struggle to do. Might wind up breaking the clips on them or something, or messing up the analog stick. Who knows? It's a little bit of a worry of mine there. But these shoulder buttons, man, they're hair triggers for sure. Like, these things are crazy sensitive. The slightest touch and they go off, man. Some people may like that. I think overall, this controller feels really cheap to me. The buttons feel a little poppy. Like, they're not horrible, but they're not great either. They just have that weird pop to it that just kind of, it's a little much, but it does have an interesting feature that you don't see crazy often, but a lot of controllers have had it lately, is like programmable stuff, macros and whatnot. Like with these back buttons, you could change those to do a single button press or multiple presses. So you have these profile buttons on both sides here, left and right. So it's kind of limiting. You can only do it for, you know, the left side's only for stuff on the left, right side's only stuff on the right. Yeah, it is what it is, but you'll hit that profile button. Say I want to do, you know, a little squirty squirt action, then a jump, and map that to the back. So that's what we got now. Squirty squirt, little jump. Just record your button presses. And that's it. And then you could clear it by holding the profile button for a few seconds. You could just do it to one button, so you could sync that back button to just one thing. But yeah, you know, let me test this out on a couple other things. I'm really worried with this D-pad, very slippery feeling, and just the lightest amount of pressure, it feels like you're registering it. Like, I don't like the way this D-pad feels, but we got to try it. We got to try it. And I want to see that gyroscope action as well. All right, I've been messing with the gyroscope a little bit. Doesn't feel the most accurate, but it gets the job done. But there, let me show you, like, hear this pop. Those face buttons are very poppy, man, very poppy. But yeah, there you go. Gyroscope works. It works fine. Okay, so we're going to test out the D-pad real quick. I mean, I've already been using it quite a bit, so I do have some things to say about it. Initially, I thought I was going to hate it. I don't hate it. I actually kind of like the D-pad. It's just like the shoulder buttons. Like I said earlier, it's just like the lightest pressure it registers. It's nuts, and I've kind of gotten used to it, and it's turned into where it's probably my most favorite thing with this controller. And I thought it was going to be my least favorite thing. But I do have some issues. So, okay, in handheld mode here, it does look a little wonky on here. And the one thing I don't like as well is the track. Like, the plastic is horrible. It's getting all scuffed and scratched up, but it's like a broken zipper. It just feels bad putting these off and on, and it just scuffs it up and gets scratched up a bit. But my biggest issue that I'm having is not the analog sticks, not the D-pad, it's these damn face buttons. And the problem is, and I've already kind of demonstrated, like, these are very poppy buttons, but especially the A button. The others, the X, Y, and B, are not as responsive either, but the A button particularly just doesn't always respond for me and doesn't respond how I expect it. So in a game like Super Mario Brothers, where I could speed through the game, timing all my jumps, I've had a little bit of an issue on occasion where the timing is off, the button doesn't respond. They need to do something with these. Like, everything else is like extremely sensitive, and then this is not. I wouldn't expect these to be as sensitive as the D-pad, but it's just, they don't respond well. That's my biggest problem. So I would hope, like, you know, for $70, man, I would expect, you know, a higher level of quality here than these cheap looking controllers. Like, the plastic is not great. It's getting scuffed up. This track is like weird. You got little pieces that are going to break off over time. It's very hollow. I wouldn't use these as individual controllers. You could if you wanted to, but I wouldn't do it. And I mean, sure, if you're going to use these for like a GameCube game or Smash Brothers or something, it may be fine. But for everything else, it's going to be a little awkward. I think there's better options out there. If I wanted to use a GameCube controller wirelessly, they sell, you know, other companies sell GameCube controllers that are, you know, third party. But I would use something like the 8BitDo G-Bros adapter and use an original GameCube controller to use it wireless on the Switch instead of something like this. So yeah, for me, I'll never use these controllers again. They're just kind of awkward and way too sensitive with certain things, and then not sensitive enough with other things. And the overall quality for 70 bucks, I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't. But don't take my word for it. You know, watch other reviews, see what other people's opinions are. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean you won't like it. Maybe you will. I don't know. But for me, yeah, it's a pass. I don't like these. Really don't. But thanks for watching. Bye.